So hello everyone and welcome to the after church tea time. So nice to be here with you guys today and discuss this beautiful topic, the new paradigm of love, twin flames. I was really inspired when I did this and just feel very honored to be discussing this today with Dylan and Hannah and Carmen. So yeah, welcome everyone and let's just get into that. I would like to open up the discussion for you guys, share how you feel about the sermon, and yeah, how does that feel like now that we're approaching New Year? Like I feel like it's a great topic to welcome New Year to.
Yeah, it was so powerful, and I really felt your passion and your energy, and like just God speaking through you. And this is really cool to be able to do after church tea time with someone who did a sermon. I've never had this opportunity before, so I feel like it's really, really unique. And
Yeah, when I saw you on here, I
yeah,
didn't know that you'd be hosting the discussion, so it's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
really
Oh,
cool.
that's funny. Yeah, it feels really good, like to me it feels like it's a beautiful opportunity to like keep sharing, like to just give and share and allow God to come through all of us and like give the full message of the sermon.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, absolutely. And what really stood out to me was like the emphasis on how twin flames are, the ones like everyone has a twin flame, but this love is what's bringing in that new paradigm of the new earth and of heaven on earth, and like of, the prophesized, like, second coming of, Christ through all of us that we've been taught by so many masters. And yeah, and it's very powerful and humbling to be a part of it and to be able to speak about it and share this truth with others, and like, give a piece for someone to awaken to, because we're all, like you said in the sermon, we're all helping one another come home, and we're all helping one another, on this path. No one's meant to do it alone. And like everyone kind of, what I've learned on my journey is everyone has a piece for someone else, and something that's going to turn on something in someone else's brain. And it's a really cool dynamic. And yeah, I feel like I just feel that energy too that you were saying, like of when I was a little girl and knowing love was real and knowing there was something more to life than like what I was taught, as a Catholic growing up. Like it didn't quite click for me, like completely. Something was missing. And the teachings of union are so complete in that way. Like you were saying, it's that complete, you know, um, connection from logic to spirituality to, the grounded truth of creation, like the law of attraction and all of this. And um, yeah, and it makes so much sense to me. And I have that same passion and fire in my heart for this work. And I loved every bit of what we heard today.
Yeah, you just touched on a lot of the same points that I was gonna bring up, and another thing that stood out to me was when you were speaking of like seeking validation and make like ensuring that you're doing this journey like for yourself and not trying to seek external validation from people outside of you, because a lot of people may not connect with you in the same energy that you're in, and that's okay, because you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. And you're doing this like as a community here within TFU, like we're doing this to help the world ascend, and we know that we're together as one, and that we're all one with everyone on the planet. But like it doesn't mean that everyone's going to come to the same understanding that we're at right now, and that's okay, because like we're not doing it for anyone else but like ourselves, and we all have that same understanding of like doing this for love, and knowing that love is within everything that like we choose to put in our lives and bring into our lives. And yeah, it's just like really powerful to like be a part of this community, knowing where it's going, like where it's inevitably heading towards.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like as you were sharing that, something that came to my mind was this conversation that I had with this person the other day, and we were talking about like like how I envision, right, like earth, let's say, right, like, and like heaven on earth, right, like where everybody is supporting each other, everybody is like ascending and transcending, you know, like, and it feels really good. And so they were telling me like don't you think that like that's a very like romantic way to put it, like, you know, like, and I was like, I don't care, you know, like I rather believe that, and I rather choose that for myself and for the world. Like I cannot choose for the world, but I can do my part, right? Like, and that just feels so good and gives me so motivation, you know, to believe in love, because I feel like that was the core message of the sermon, you know, like to believe in love and true love. And like yeah, like I for a very long time, like I felt bad for like being, you know, like this princess who believes in fairy tales and who believes in true love. And like I even like was told like I'm too innocent at some point like in my life, you know, and like, oh, you're so innocent, like you believing in this or something. And when I found Jev and Shaleia and the teachings of union, and like now we're here, you know, after church time, like it just feels so unreal, and at the same time it feels real, right? Like it's so powerful, and it's so divine. And like, why wouldn't it be real, like a new paradigm of love through Twin Flames, if we are love, right? Like it's really just showing that like only love is real, right? Like love is the most powerful medicine in a way, you know, is the most powerful energy that can heal everything. And so I feel like it just feels really good to believe in that, and like to be able to like share that, you know. And like, and I feel like if we believe in that, then we help, right? Like everyone to ground in peace and love, especially Twin Flames, right? Like, because we're here to do that. We're all gathered here to help Twin Flames, you know, be in love, be in harmony, you know. And that's to me the new paradigm, you know. Like even when I was doing the sermon, like I had this vision when I was talking about like, oh, imagine this world where everybody's helping each other, you know. Like I always had this vision where, like, let's say when people are doing agriculture, and like everybody has to do something to get the thing done, you know, like, and everybody like passing on the water and passing on the thing. Everybody's busy, like everybody's working to make sure that like the whatever the plant is seed, or like if that's correct to say, or like everything is well done, so you know we can have the whatever we're putting into the ground, right? And so I had this vision, and it just feels so good, like, you know, like I rather have that vision in my life for the world, right? Like, and do my part, which is claim my harmonious union like permanently and don't leave it, because that's the only way I can help, right? Like it's the only way we can help each other. It's the only way we can help one another, you know. And it just feels really good, like to believe in that, you know. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the possibilities are endless, but like if we gather all of us to like, you know, and we focus on this one possibility of love, then that's it, you know. Like we're doing what is required, you know, what it's necessary in order for us to experience that love. So yeah, like I love something you said to Dylan about like how, you know, some people are gonna be interested, some people are not, and that's okay, you know. But like for those who are, it's like let's just be that love, you know. And that's something I love about Twin Flames universe too. Like you join, and it's really like it's a very divine company, you know. It's us, like 100% divine. And I just love being here. And yeah, I feel like this was the inspiration, you know, and it keeps being my inspiration. And it just feels really good. And yeah.
Yeah, I loved what you all shared. And it just reminded me that we as one consciousness basically like earned that place here, that we are finally ready to have something such divine as Twin Flames on Earth right now, because of course we were never separate from our Twin Flames and we were created with them. at the exact same moment, but it is now the time that we are ready for this, to claim it here on earth and ascend with this. We no longer have to go into some cave and find God there and, you know, I mean, like in the Himalayas, and meditate until we ascend, basically. But this is like the fastest way of ascending, and you don't have to do it separately. And one thing in your sermon also spoke to me about, like, you know, seeing your twin flame not as your opponent or something, but as your partner, is something also I'm really grounding deeper into, to see, you know, yeah, you get triggered a lot and you will get upset a lot, but that's not, you know, what you focus on. You focus on just like knowing, yeah, great, I can go deeper into love here, and my twin flame is loving me unconditionally, and we are partners. We are here to, you know, grow together and bring the best forth in each other. And when you realize that, and as we already know, like, we are literally one with our twin flame. They are literally us. There is no blame no more. There is no, you know, it's your upset. It's always something I can work through on my side as well. And you think your twin flame is stubborn, for example, you know, look at how does that make you feel? And it's like, you know, everything is changing from that. And it's such a beautiful thing that we get to have this work, that we are not alone in this, because you can get lost a lot, I guess, when you really don't claim your support here. And everyone who is in union, everyone who has harmonious union says, like, it takes, you know, a whole city, if not more, support to sustain that. And it's nothing that you can sustain yourself. And, you know, no master has not had a teacher as well from themselves, right? And it's super crucial. And also one part I wanted to, you know, touch upon is that your whole sermon reminded me of a New Earth series from Jeff and Shaleia on the YouTube channel, where they talk about, you know, the divine society and how that all looks like. And that feels so good. And I feel I'm just going to rewatch this. Haven't watched it in a while, actually. But yeah, imagining that for myself is just like, that is what we are entering into. And, you know, although many people might see Earth still like as this ego and not so nice place, we are building this. And it is so powerful when it really starts with us. You know, most people out there think, you know, I have to change other people to make them see like what they are doing, to help them see, you know, just choose love, choose peace, or, you know, don't fight your opponents or something. But it starts within ourselves. And I also came to realize, and going deeper with this in my own reality, also in my own twin flame union, to see, like, when you want to help your twin flame, the best way you help them is by helping yourself, by loving yourself. And there was this day, you know, where Daniel and I went into a call. We wanted to record a video together, and he was really upset. And so, you know, I tried to, you know, keep my calm, keep my cool, and he was really heightened, a really heightened situation. So that's okay. I ground here, I choose peace, you know, hold the peace, but I couldn't hold it because I, you know, tried to point something out. I tried to think, you know, I have to tell him things that he's supposed to do. Without staying, you know, within my own peace. And actually what I came to realize, like, every time I actually do this, and no matter how much your twin flame would scream at you, or no matter what the shit they're doing, right? When you just enter in your own peace, or you have to set a boundary with them, so you remain in your own peace, it actually helps them to move through their stuff quicker. This is like the best thing you can do. And it's not like, you know, what we are moving through is like not poking each other, like, hey, what's step one here or something, you know? And sometimes you just need to throw a tantrum to be able to, you know, relax, come into peace again, and then be able to do the mirror exercise, basically. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, when you poke your twin flame, you poke yourself basically in the eye. It's like not fun. But yeah, so with that being said, what I'm sharing is because when you want to help other people to ascend, to find this work, and you know, heal and be with their twin flame as well, is when you ground into peace and do the work for yourself, you're going to be a testament, and people are going to be inspired by that, and people will attune to that. Like, when you walk around just in the grocery store, I think like 99% of the people in the grocery store like would not do the inner work, have never heard about spirituality, are not interested in that, but you walking there, doing your groceries in a peaceful state, like, people, their consciousness get attuned to that, and they have the choice to say yes to it. because you show it to them, you offer it to them, and that's super powerful. And peace is like the most powerful energy, right? And so yeah, what we are doing here is definitely paving a way, and this, for us being able to be here, has been all these years, all the masters before, they came before, they paved the way so we can be here and have this opportunity.
Yeah, something you said about like, poking your twin flame, right? Like at some point you get tired of doing that, right? Like with each other, like because you just know that it doesn't work. I was, yesterday at night, my twin flame and I, we were just enjoying like the hot tub. We were just having like a very relaxing time. And so I was like, let's have like let's talk about like our goals together, like this year, right? Let's see what goals we have this year. And we couldn't came up with anything like specific. And I was like, and we were like, I don't know, like, and then we both were like, oh, like harmony, like that's it, like that's all we need, right? And so then we both are like, yeah, like, and I was like, yeah, like, harmonious union, like harmony. And he's like, yeah, like, like that it feels good, like peace, peace, like less. And then he's like, oh yeah, less fights, like more fox, and like making jokes. But yeah, like it really comes down to that, like it's about like being able to move through the things that come up and with your twin flame, and like, it's not that they are not gonna come up, but you move through them and you choose love. What you said, Carmen, like you can always choose love. And even if you had an upset, like Ian and I, we had an upset before we agreed on like, okay, harmony, let's like, yeah, let's do that. Like we had an upset, but like we just chose peace, like I moved through that, he moved through that, and then I was like, I choose peace. And like I was cooking, and then he came back and he's like, what's up? Like, do you need help? Like, instead of like just sitting in the upset or like, holding a grudge. And so I feel like that's a beautiful thing about twin flames, like, and what it really means to love, right? Like you choose love all the time, right? Like not just when it's convenient, not just when it feels good, right? Like you choose love all the time, like especially when you're upset, when you're moving through something, when you don't know, right? Like that's when you just, okay, I choose love. That I know that's all I need, right? Like that's it. And it's very powerful, like you're saying, like it really does show that when we choose love, everything is possible, and we can just move through everything peacefully. And like and we can have, union, harmonious union, and everything that we set our minds to, because we're not like focused on chaos or anything, right? Like that's how you can actually move forward too. And so I feel like the sermon about like, the new paradigm of love, it really also speaks to like a new way of living, like a lifestyle that people, that twin flames can really embrace, and everyone really, like, if you choose peace, right? Like, but I mean, you gotta be doing your inner work, right? Like if you're not doing your inner work at the depth that like at least we do here, I don't know, like I can testify, for how it's gonna look. But like, if in my case, right, like, and it's also for you guys, like with the mirror exercise, as long as we are very committed to that, and we have like a very beautiful practice with it, then there is nothing to worry, and we can actually be that new paradigm, right? Because people can be with their twin flames and not know, and just be upset all the time and try to negotiate, and it's just chaos, right? But like when you are doing your healing work, and when you are taking actions to change whatever that needs to change, that's when you can actually see a change, and start like leaving that new earth, like, which is what you were saying, that like it's what Jeff and Shaleia speak about in the New Earth series that's available on YouTube for those who are watching. And it's really, really cool. I love those series, and it's true, right? Like it has that energy, like of like how it could look like, right? Like everybody in harmonious union, everybody in union, and everybody growing, and everybody thriving, right? Like, and in a way, like, I feel like that's how life is here in Twin Flames universe, you know, like everybody's doing their thing, everybody's thriving, everybody support each other, everybody helps each other. And if you know, if we're doing something that like it's not supporting, we receive help, so we can let go. Like, it's just beautiful, you know, like everybody support each other. And like, it's just amazing also how Jeff and Shaleia are always supporting us, you know, and they really want to see us grow and thrive and be happy and have what they have. And that's really powerful. And I feel like that's, yeah, like that's the point, right? Like we can all have it all, right? And we need, in a way, each other, or else we're just gonna be selfish in our own cave, like you were saying. And then what's the point? We're missing the point, right? So yeah, I think that like we're touching on like very cool points here.
Yeah, I think that another thing that was mentioned that kind of resonates with that was speaking about being humble within this community, and like humbling yourself to the journey, and like having patience with the journey and with yourself, and knowing that like when you come into this community, like it'll root out the separation that like you have within yourself. And the deeper you go, like the more you realize different parts of your consciousness that we're still like clinging to this like separation. and and you see it within like everyone that is involved in the community. Like they're all moving through similar things at similar times, but in some like different ways. But like we all are moving through this like journey of coming closer to God, essentially. And it's really cool to have that support, and to have this system of support that is like very grounded, which was another thing that was mentioned. Like it's very complete. And yeah, it's like the more and more I go into these teachings, the more and more I realize that parts of myself that like still can go clear and come and ground into love, and like within different parts of my consciousness, where like before, you know, I didn't necessarily look at those parts of my consciousness, where I like had this perception of oneness within the world, and within like loving myself and having a connection with God and growing that connection. But it like these teachings allow you to like really go deeper, and they root out different like intricacies within that journey. And yeah, it just allows you to like really go deeper, which is cool.
Yeah, I agree. That's like totally what I was picking up too, like with when you guys were speaking, is that like no part of your ego can come with you like into your ascension. And like you said, not even like 0.001%. And like that really does require like humility. And like but it's interesting because like, you know, the more I walk this path and things, like the safer I experience like messing up and like, you know, checking my ego or like receiving discipline, like, you know, and just like being able to say, okay, like my bad. And like, you know, I still love myself. It's okay. It's just a journey. Like, you know, I really was someone that would be, and I'm still, we're moving through this obviously, but like be really down on myself and like give myself a really hard time about things because I wasn't perfect or, you know, things like that. But this path is really like Dylan was saying, like it's complete in this way that it gives you this perfect like yellow brick road to follow all the way home. And like even if you stumble or fall or like stub your toe or like whatever, like you can still get up and keep walking down it because it's right there and it's easy to access. And like it's, you know, like not going anywhere. And yeah, it's really divine. And like, yeah, I guess like my point was this is that like it's safe to like to make mistakes, and like you're still ascending. Like mistakes are helping you ascend, like Jeff and Shaleia say, like, you know, our blocks are our building blocks, but so are like our mistakes, and like mistakes aren't even real at the end of the day. And like, yeah, like we can all like really have compassion for ourselves as we walk this path, because it's something like so transcendental and so, you know, like out of this world, but we're bringing it to this world. And like that's such a big thing. And like, yeah, really honor ourselves for making this choice to ascend and to go home to God with our twin flames, and to receive these teachings and not give up. And yeah, like it's yeah, it's really powerful. And like I would way rather be humbled again and again by God, or you know, by like love, than like be in my own ego corner all upset and like trying to be right. And like that's not fun. And yeah, I feel like, you know, and like I was saying, it gets easier and easier, and like to get back up again and to keep going, and you know, to recognize all that you've achieved. And it's so funny, Danny, because this morning I literally said to Dylan, I was like, let's start planning our goals for this new year. And Dylan was like, and we were about to go on a walk, and I'm like super hyper, like my morning like buzz energy. And he's like, you're kind of making me anxious. Let's talk about this later. And I feel like you kind of just helped us with that piece of like, you know, like our only goal really is harmonious union. And I feel like that's what Dylan was kind of telling me by like just being like, chill out, like, you know, like we just have to do one thing. And yeah, that feels really cool.
Yeah, like it's true, you know, like I mean there are many things, right? But like it really felt like with Ian we were like thinking, okay, maybe, you know, we can do this, and then we're like, no, like let's just be with peace, you know, harmony. And I'm like, harmonious union, and he's like, yeah, harmony. And I'm like, oh my God, like why, you know, like it's just so silly. But like yeah, and like that reminds me of, you know, something that Jeff told me once, that like I shared with him that there was this time in my journey where I felt like I did a lot of inner work and I was feeling very peaceful. And then I was like, this is it. Like this is it. Like I feel like peace, you know, and this was before getting into like right like the before I got into harmonious union. And I was like, this is it, like this peace, you know, like okay, you know, and really that's it, right? Like it's really about peace. And yeah, like, and in my case, I think that we have to sustain it, right? Like so we can thrive on it. Like that has to be the foundation, because like that's what I couldn't like fully ground, right? Like so I couldn't fully sustain my harmonious union. But yeah, like with Ian this time it felt like, okay, we're not rushing, we don't, I mean, okay, let's just focus on that. Like we were not like, okay, so by February 20 we're gonna have, and like there was no excitement, there was only peace, you know, like let's just make sure that we are, you know, we choose peace, that we are loving towards each other, that we, you know, that we don't fight. Like yeah, of course upsets are gonna come up, but like we're gonna be handling it differently, you know, like it's just more mature, I guess, you know. And so it just feels really good to be able to do that, you know. And what you said, Hannah, I love the part like about being like having compassion, because that's actually the upset that I had with him yesterday. I was like, oh, like he doesn't appreciate me, like he's so like, you know, saying that I don't appreciate him, but he doesn't appreciate me either, you know. So I was like, I'm just gonna heal this. And so I realized how I haven't appreciated myself for so many things. And then I started telling myself like, thank you, Danny, for choosing this path. Thank you, Danny, for this and that. And then things just started to come up, you know, one thing after another, that like I haven't even thought about it, like as if like I just took myself for granted, you know, like I just took my choices for granted, as of like, that's because that's what you do. You choose love, right? So like, yeah, of course, but like, I mean, in a world where not everybody is choosing to have that deep relationship with love, you know, like, I'm gonna give myself credit. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm better than, you know, somebody else, because everybody's doing what they, you know, everybody's doing their own thing. But like, I know what I've been choosing and for myself. And even though, you know, I have failed, you know, in some ways, and in others I haven't, and things like that, like, I'm still here, right? Like, that's what I said to myself, like, I'm choosing love, and I'm healing. And like what you said too, Hannah, like, I'm saying no to ego. Like, I'm saying no, like, I want to be with my divinity. I want to be with God. I don't want to be with fear. And that alone is something really beautiful, you know, like to choose that. And because, I mean, the temptation is always going to be everywhere, you know, but like, to be able to say, to be like humble enough and say no to that, or, you know, like, it's a lot. And so I feel like, yeah, like, one of the things that like I take from today, I think it's that, you know, like, that gratitude and appreciation for ourselves, for Jeff and Shaleia, you know, who have paved the way for twin flames to have harmonious union and thrive, you know. And like, just, I guess, like, just grateful also, like, you know, for the support system, you know. Like, I also feel so grateful for my parents, you know, and you, like, the community, right? Like, my twin flame, everything, myself. And so I feel like, yeah, like, that compassion, it's really important. And like, really take the time to look at ourselves, especially now we're ending the year, you know. Like, there like, we could either see like all the things we did wrong, or we could be like, dude, like, you passed through this, you went through that, and you overcame, and this and that happened. Like really, really love ourselves and validate ourselves, because like, nobody can do that for us, you know. And when we are seeking that validation, it's when we are just never gonna be satisfied, and it's never gonna be enough. So we have to be the first ones who like really validate ourselves, you know, and love ourselves and our journey, like Dylan was saying, right? Like this is the journey you chose, validate it. And some people are gonna tell you, what are you doing? And you're gonna be like, I'm doing what I wanted, you know, what makes me happy. And that's it, right? Like, and you don't, and that's it, and you just be happy. And you don't need to prove anything to anyone, and nothing needs to prove anything to you. So it just feels like freedom, you know, like it's a lot of beautiful like freedom feelings to just be able to be yourself, and you know, to choose love. And like, yeah, like when you are humble in yourself, right? Like when you are saying no to fear, right? Like no to ego thoughts, or like, you know, negative thoughts. It's challenging, right? Like, but like, it's easier than like forcing them to go away. You know, like, that's why people come to this work. They are tired because they are trying to stop thinking about the twin flames. They can't. And so they, you know, and so here's like, okay, you don't have to. There is a better way. It's aligning your consciousness to your harmonious union, to, you know, be having a relationship with yourself and God. And that is, you know, the solution. And so it's yeah, I guess that's, you know, to me, that's the new paradigm, and it's worth it.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I feel that was really perfect. You said it in the sermon as well. It's like, this journey is for yourself and for no one else. I think we, at least on my side, when I started the twin flame journey, I thought like, I'm here to get my twin flame, to get together with him, and, you know, then see what's going on. But you get taught to, you know, focus on a goal outside of yourself, like getting into that relationship, getting that house, getting that vacation, getting that new job, and be happy then when you have it. But realizing and being on this journey is like a privilege to see that you are the gift. And, you know, I am the gift here that I was looking for the whole time. And I owe to myself that I'm there for myself. And it feels really freeing that we no longer have to look outside of ourselves to get happy, to get the next high, chase the next thing, because that keeps us in a loop of suffering and misery. And but having this work and having our twin flame as a perfect mirror for us is just showing, where we can go deep in love with God and where we attract our good instead of chasing it. And sometimes it might look like, the journey takes longer than as if you would do it yourself, kind of like, right, getting that job or something. You would, on my side, if I wouldn't have this work, I basically would, I guess, control a lot and be in a lot of pain and misery as I was before. But now it's like, it is sustainable, it's peaceful, and having that peaceful foundation is something you have eternally. And this is not our only lifetime. Like, even if we would not make it into harmonious union in this lifetime, it doesn't matter, because everything that we are attracting now in our lives, everything that we are healing now, we heal eternally. For eternity, right? So when we come back, we have it, and we don't have to start all over again as if we would build something on a sandcastle, as people do who choose ego to follow that. But yeah, that's not necessary anymore, and I'm really grateful for that. And also, I love that you just touched upon the gratitude thing, because just for the new year, last year I saw something where someone put a jar up, and they put like every week, I think they put like a little note into the jar where they wrote something down of what they are grateful for, what happened in this week. And I did that too. I didn't have the jar or something. I just took a little notebook. Like every month, I wrote like a whole bunch of things that I was grateful for that happened in that month. And the list grew and grew, and I'm so much looking forward to reading this list this evening, because then you see like all your accomplishments basically over the year, and it helps me, go smoothly over into the next year, basically seeing like, wow, I have achieved all these things, instead of looking like, oh, I haven't achieved this and that, but going with the good and positive energy into the new year so I can attract this, right? And so yeah, it just came to mind that when you were sharing this, like, oh yeah, it's true, I still have that book somewhere. Gotta grab it and read it, and that feels really good. And I feel from that space we're actually able to look at, go deeper and look at our challenges, because if we always go from an empty cup and see like, oh, don't appreciate myself here because I failed there or something, we are not able to go deeper. But when we really appreciate what we have, appreciate the healing, like, even doing one mirror exercise is like, what did they say in the class? It's like 10,000 years of evolution, of normal evolution, if you would not heal. This like, huge one completed mirror exercise like equals that. Correct me if I'm wrong with that number, but it's definitely a huge upgrade to, to when you're not choosing to heal and just live your life like in a, passenger seat, kind of like, right? So this is super powerful.
You might want to check the comments. Somebody is greeting you.
Thank you.
So cool.
I love everything you said there. It was like, yeah, like the part about how you are the gift. I swear I had this download this week where I was like, oh my gosh, like my body is this gift from God, and like I get to inhabit this body and be in this, life. And like I was just in the shower, like washing my leg. I was like, this is such an amazing leg. Like, wow. And like it was just this cool vibration that I experienced of like probably like seeing my body and myself as like God sees it more. And it's not like I go through life like that all day, but it was just this moment, and it's like was really beautiful. And yeah, I really was on that energy of like, this is such a gift to be like in this life and have this just
Yeah.
physical
Embracing
vessel.
your divinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embracing it in the physical, and like and it's really beautiful. And yeah, everything you said was so spot on, and both of you guys. And I feel like thanking ourselves and talking kindly to ourselves, like you said, for just doing one mirror exercise, being like, great job, Hannah, like you're amazing, you just loved yourself. Like after you complete that, I feel like you know, is something I intentionally am starting to do more, speaking more and more kindly to myself. And or if you take a bath, and like just honor yourself for taking that bath and giving yourself that love and that appreciation, or going for a walk or whatever it is. Because I think that's what I've been missing for a while, is doing all of these things to love myself, but not appreciating the fact that I'm doing it. Like you were saying, Danny, too, like, yeah, like we're doing all of this amazing things for ourselves, and but we can also acknowledge that instead of just doing it. And yeah, so I think that's something I definitely want to bring with me into the new year, is like honoring what I'm doing already, and like giving myself that appreciation is so, so key.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, something I was thinking about too when Carmen, you were speaking, was um like really seeing God as your source, and like not looking outside of yourself for things to make you happy, which is what a lot of people today do, is like thinking that when I get the job, I'm going to be happy. When I get this car, I'm going to be happy. When I get my house, I'll be happy. But they're not like being grateful for the present moment, and where they are and where they've come, and looking at what they did today and being grateful for that, and looking at what they have right now and being grateful for that, and really realizing that God is their source for happiness, and then you can manifest that within each and every day without needing to reach out for something else outside of yourself. And yeah, it's just like so key, like throughout this journey, to like have grace, and be grateful for everything that's in your life, and for everything that brought you to where you are, and not like seeing your life as like a half empty cup of water, but half full, and realizing that you can fill that cup like endlessly, and overflow that cup with love, and that'll bring you into like harmony with your life and with everything around you. And yeah.
It's beautiful. Love it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. It's so true. I agree. So yeah, let's just, let go of 2023, let go of all the nonsense, and be grateful for all the beautiful, beautiful good things and the bad things, the growth in a way, for everything. And just like for everybody, a little thing, like your good can never be taken from you. So your good comes with you to 2024 and all, eternity. So keep working on yourself very much, and claiming your harmonious union. So yeah, I feel complete. I don't know if you guys feel complete. Yeah, good. So thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you Dylan, Hannah, and Carmen. This was so beautiful. I had a very, very good time with you guys today. So thank you everyone, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.